Welcome to Winning Hearts and Minds Educational Leadership Podcast. I am your host, Dion Jude. In today's episode, we'll dive into an often overlooked but crucial topic, the microaggressions experienced by learners with SEND in our schools. We'll explore what SEND-related microaggressions are, how they manifest in educational settings, and what we, as educators and leaders, can do to ensure our words and actions foster inclusion, rather than unintentionally causing harm. Most of us are probably more familiar with microaggressions related to race, and I am keen to highlight how these words and actions can have a big impact from a SEND perspective. Microaggressions, though subtle, are deeply impactful. They're those everyday verbal or non-verbal slights, snubs or insults, intentional or not, that communicate negative messages to individuals based on aspects of their identity. For SEND learners, these can come from teachers, support staff, or even peers, and while the intentions behind such actions may not be malicious, the effects are real and far-reaching. Research from the British Journal of Educational Psychology shows that SEND learners often internalise feelings of being less than when they are subjected to dismissive or belittling comments. These microaggressions can significantly hinder their self-esteem, academic progress, and mental well-being. Let's start by identifying what these microaggressions might look like in a school setting. Diminishing the student's capabilities, phrases like, "that's good for you," or "let's not expect too much," can sound harmless, but they lower expectations for students, subtly communicating that they are less capable or that their achievements don't measure up to their peers. Questioning the legitimacy of SEND needs. Comments such as, "Are they really autistic?" or "I think they're just lazy," invalidate a student's diagnosis and minimize their experiences. Overcompensation or pity. Statements like, "I just feel so sorry for them," or singling students out for special treatment can foster a sense of otherness, making them feel like they don't belong. Inappropriate humor or jokes. Even light-hearted remarks such as, "they've got ants in their pants" or "they're in their own world," can reinforce stereotypes and demean learners. The impact of microaggressions and the cumulative effect of these interactions is profound. SEND learners may begin to believe they are inherently less capable or undeserving of the same opportunities as their peers. Over time, this can lead to disengagement, anxiety, or behavioural challenges. In a study published by Educational Leadership Quarterly, researchers found that students who felt their needs were misunderstood or dismissed were significantly less likely to seek help or participate in class. These subtle barriers can limit their access to an equitable education. So how do we address this issue? 1. Educate staff on SEND awareness, with regular CPD sessions focused on implicit bias and SEND inclusivity are essential. Encourage staff to reflect on their language and attitudes, helping them recognise their own biases and adjust their behaviours. 2. Foster empathy through stories by sharing learner and family perspectives during staff meetings or training. Real-life stories can build empathy and deepen understanding of the unique challenges faced by SEND learners. 3. Promote a strengths-based approach to shift the narrative from what SEND learners can't do to what they can do. Celebrate their achievements and highlight their strengths in class and during assemblies. 4. Encourage self-advocacy by giving SEND learners a platform to express their needs and preferences. Involve them in decisions that affect their education, reinforcing that their voices are valued. Last but not least, zero tolerance for harmful language. Create a culture where inappropriate comments or actions are immediately addressed. This includes fostering a safe space where learners and staff feel empowered to report any microaggressions. Also remember, this might apply to the neurodiversity of a member of staff. When I began my career, I vividly recall a staff member saying about a student with ADHD, "They'll never amount to much, but they're entertaining, always bouncing off the walls, 'cause he's got ants in his pants." While the comment wasn't intended to be cruel, it stuck with me. I saw how that student internalized the low expectations and began playing up the entertaining role to the detriment of their own learning. I made a decision that day to never let a student be defined by a label or a careless comment. Every child deserves to walk through our doors feeling seen, respected, and capable of achieving great things. To build great relationships and help all children achieve their potential, we must approach every learner with respect and high expectations, avoiding the subtle biases that can create unseen barriers. Take a moment to reflect. Have you ever caught yourself or a colleague saying something to a SEND learner that might unintentionally send the wrong message? What steps can you take to promote a more inclusive and empathetic classroom environment? In today's episode, we explored how microaggressions can undermine the potential of SEND learners and the steps we can take to ensure our words and actions empower rather than hinder. Remember, as educators, we have the power to shape a culture of inclusivity. By addressing microaggressions, we create a learning environment where everyone feels valued and supported. Let's strive to ensure that our schools are places where no child or member of staff feels limited by labels or overlooked because of their differences. Together we can build environments that truly win hearts and minds, creating the conditions for everyone to thrive.